So, HBO just dropped the first official trailer for The Last of Us Season 2, and after hearing what the cast and creators revealed, it's safe to say we're in for something darker, more intense, and a whole lot more heartbreaking. From Ellie and Joel's fractured relationship to new types of infected, and of course, our first look at Abby. So let's break down everything we now know about The Last of Us Season 2. One of the biggest takeaways from last night's panel was just how much Joel and Ellie's dynamic has changed since the end of Season 1. In the trailer, we even hear Ellie say that "you swore," a direct reference to the moment where Joel lied to her about what really happened at the hospital. Bella Ramsey spoke out about this, saying that Ellie has this doubt and has always had this doubt in the back of her head the entire time. She's not as close to Joel anymore, and we're meeting them in a place where their friendship is quite fractured. Ellie is carrying a deep sadness, and we'll see that play out as she navigates the events of Part 2. This tells us what Season 2 isn't just about revenge, it's about the emotional fallout of Joel's decision, and it looks like they're going to explore that tension right from the get-go. There's no messing around. Co-showrunner Craig Mazin said that the escalation is going to be a major theme of this season, meaning everything is getting bigger, more dangerous, and more complex. Jackson is expanding, taking in more refugees. The outside world is growing, harsher and more unpredictable every day, and most importantly, the infected are evolving. We already know from the games that The Last of Us Part 2 doesn't really focus too heavily on the infected, as certainly not as much as the first game. But Mazin's confirmed that we're getting something else, something meaningful, and not just more enemies, but a new kind of threat that will feel just as terrifying. So could this mean we're getting a new type of infected? Something that hasn't actually been seen in the games before? Or are they just making the existing ones even more terrifying? Of course, one of the biggest reveals in this trailer is our first real look at Abby. Played by Caitlin Dever. For anyone unfamiliar with The Last of Us Part 2, Abby is one of the most controversial characters in the franchise. She's a survivor, but also someone whose grief and past choices fuel a violent, deeply personal conflict that will change everything we know about Ellie's journey. So Caitlin Dever talks about how broken Abby is and how her performance is focused on portraying her grief, which is crucial because Abby isn't just a villain. We all might see her that way sometimes, but she's a character driven by pain, loss, and revenge. Mazin also revealed that Dever has almost cast as Ellie years ago when The Last of Us was originally being planned. Now she's stepping into probably one of the most important roles of the series. We only got a brief look at Abby in the trailer, but you can bet obviously the more that drops and when Season 2 lands, we're going to see a lot more of her. Another huge takeaway from the panel is that this season is going all in on intensity. Neil Druckmann said that in Season 1 they were picking and choosing moments because they were still figuring things out. But this time, they know what they're going for. They know the vision more clearly, and they're swinging for the fences. He didn't just say Season 2 is bigger or better, he quite literally said that it's going to be crazier. And honestly, looking at the scale of this trailer alone, I believe it. We're getting larger battles, new factions like the Seraphites, and some of the most brutal moments in the franchise. And the wildest part, Druckmann says that some of the most intense moments are not even in the trailer that we've just watched. So that's where we are currently. The story is getting darker, the action is clearly ramping up, and the infected might not be what we expect this time around. Who knows? The big question is, what do you think? Does Abby's casting feel right to you? Should she have played Ellie if it had gone down that road? What do you think they're changing about the infected? And most importantly, are we even ready for the emotional damage Season 2 is about to drop on us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and of course, hit like and subscribe if you want to see more Last of Us deep dives, game lore, and some of my own horror stories that will be coming out soon. Season 2 is coming fast, and I have a feeling it's just going to be the beginning. Catch you next time.